Hello, my name is Shachar Peled. This is the fourth lecture in the series about evolution and faith. To recap what we have already said and perhaps expand on it, we said that evolution is the basis of all faith. In the same way that once we know the astronomical vast size of the cosmos, we cannot conceive of the divine in the same way. And many theologists of the 16th and 17th century described the shock that overcame them when it was first realized how huge the cosmos is. The fact that we are, in fact, an infinitesimal grain of dust in an infinite cosmos. This physical fact, this fact of physics, forces a vision of the divine that can never be small, parochial, finite. The idea of the divine must be infinite, because if the world itself, which is always ipso facto less than the divine, it's always partial and limited and diminished, then the divine must be infinite, and we cannot conceive of it otherwise. So the vision of the cosmos, our physical knowledge of the cosmos, re-influences or changes or shapes our vision or idea about divinity. Now, in the same way, the simple, not so simple maybe, but the basic understanding, the very comprehensive vision that sees all life in the cosmos, including man, as developing from a common descent, common ancient descent, is a piece of knowledge about reality that changes our faith. You cannot hold the same beliefs, the same perspective about the divine when you know evolution, when you know about evolution. Because the fact that there was something less developed, something that was very small, and it took it 3 billion years to develop into a person, into man, teaches us something about divinity. And we can't have the same vision of God as before. Since Darwin published his Origin of the Species, scientists who continued to research evolution found more and more proofs for its existence, to the point that today there is absolutely no work in biology that is not based on the theory of evolution. In fact, we have so many proofs from so many areas of endeavor, from paleontology, when we see the way that fossils change from one level to another, from comparative anatomy, when we see different body parts, or quite the opposite, similar body parts in different animals, when we see geographical dispersion, the way the location of animals changes their features, their characteristics, their traits. This was the famous Galapagos survey of Darwin. Genetics. We see that there are genes and chromosomes that are and proteins that are common to all life on Earth. The way systems adapt, the way all life copes with microbes and viri, and the way that all life interacts with each other. Each of these aspects reinforces the theory of evolution and adds more and more proofs. And together they expose the sequence and the process of the development of the world. On the side of faith, from the aspect of belief, the recognition and the acceptance of evolution as the theory that describes the origins of the cosmos, this acceptance leads to an understanding of the great connection between God, the world, and man. Everything is seen in one far-reaching, comprehensive glance or perspective. And as Rabbi Kook writes, it is evolution that is so intimately connected from the lowest depth to the highest heights, from the lowest or most lowly creature to the greatest creature of creation, man himself, the crown of creation, and never veers from its track but continues to develop. This evolution teaches us of a glance, of a gaze that looks afar, a far-reaching gaze, so far that one cannot perceive the end of the horizon. There is no horizon. It is endless, this gaze. And this gaze sees a purpose in creation itself. And the purpose unfolds from the process. Because if the process yields higher and higher, gentler and gentler, smarter and smarter, more creative forms, then that is the purpose. The purpose is inherent in the process, and the process teaches us the purpose. And we see the purpose that has been destined for the entire of creation, for the entire cosmos. And since we thus see that everything is rising and transpiring and progressing according to a certain trend, a certain program, in a certain direction that is teleological, then it is simple to understand that there is a consciousness overseeing all this, that it is overlooking all that exists. And since everything is becoming better, everything is improving and transcending, then we see that man too, in perfecting himself and perfecting his world, can also transcend, can also become higher. In other words, man can be evolutionary. A person that makes himself and betters himself and betters his world is behaving in accordance with evolution. He too becomes evolutionary. He too perfects and rises and increases. And in that, he is doing God's will. For what is God's will? We can see God's will in evolution. God's will is that things will improve for the better. Optimism. Everything is getting better. So that is God's will. So if you are getting better, if you are making your world better, then you are doing God's will. And you too are part of evolution. And we will see how this conscious evolution, later on in the lectures, how man has taken the torch, like in a marathon run. Man has taken the torch from evolution and is now consciously perfecting creation, perfecting reality. While evolution did this blindly for 15 billion years, man now continues the process, continues the trend by perfecting the world. So when a person is improving himself, he is being evolutionary, and in that he is doing God's will. We will continue in the next lecture.